Yo, what is up guys, it's Phantom here today, and today we're talking about Guilty Gear and its new gameplay and everything that was shown off recently. I think it was last Sunday or this Sunday during the Arc Systems Evo, and we gotta talk about it. There's a lot has changed about the gameplay mechanics and just about how much this game has changed. Now, this can be either a good or a bad thing because we saw actually no real gameplay. And we saw character reveals, and the character reveals pretty much showed us a portion of how gameplay looked, which again looked very different from how XR Revelator looked and how the previous Guilty Gear games looked. And this game is no exception. It's very different, and I understand what they mean is that they're not making the same game over and over again, but instead improving on this one. But there's a lot of changes that definitely are going to have the fan base divided and the community of Guilty Gear divided by it, because it's not as crazy as it used to be. Now, first thing we have to talk about, and I'm probably going to show you the Chip Zhang versus Potikamin fight, is of course those two new characters. So Chip Zhang, been in the game for the longest, one of my personal favorite characters. This man has changed. They buffed him up, gave him a brand new moveset, and the man has hit the gym 24/7. He's being out there pumping them irons. Then we got Potikamin, who has a literal gun on his shoulder. He is a huge monster house, and of course I've always wanted to see these characters in the game. Of course, having Chip Zhang in XR Revelator, he was one of my favorite characters throughout even the Guilty Gear, I think it was Double X Core. He was always one of my favorite characters. So seeing him, look different. Most people don't like the look. I love it. I love that they bulked him up. I love that he's still a fast, speedy ninja type. I love that he uses shadow clones. It's really dope watching it. But the gameplay has changed dramatically. So basically, first of all, we gotta look at the AI and the HUD. You'll notice that it's not as colorful as the usual HUD is. Again, they can always change that. That's a quick fix if they wanted to. But it's a little less stuff going on. A lot less stuff going on with the HUD, with the HUD menu, and with the health menu. There's nothing going on right there. When it comes to actual combat and gameplay, you'll notice that it's less on stringing together combos and more on somehow being more technical with it, being very technical with fighting, and being very knowing what moves to use. Now you gotta remember, and I'm sorry I don't have any footage of XR Revelator 2, even though I have the game. In XR Revelator 2, in the previous Guilty Gear game, you would string together a fast enough combo and you keep it going. You pretty much got the match in the bag. There have literally been times where I've gone without taking any damage, or I've been hit once and I string together a very heavy combo. I won the whole match. So of course the matches are a bit slower and not as fast as they usually are. You'll notice that a lot of the characters are, focused mainly on priority. You'll also notice that in the select screen, characters are categorized. So when we get more characters, so let's say if we get Dizzy, we get the chick with the guitar, or any of the characters, they're probably going to all be categorized in these different categories. So yeah, definitely going to be a matchup type of game where you have to figure out, well, I'm fighting against the speedy type, maybe I can use a strength type, or maybe I can use a balance type, with of course it's Kai and Soul Bad Guy. And I'm generally curious because Kai is one of my, he's my favorite fighting game protagonist in general, Kai and Soul. So I'm wondering, with the balance types, do they take more damage? What's going on here? Because I know they're a jack of all trades and a master of none, which means that they are pretty much, they're very good beginner players. For people who haven't literally decided, oh, I want to be more of a strength player, I want to be more of a speed player. This gives us a balance. I think Mei is also categorized in the balance type, though I could be wrong, because she's at a different tier at them. So I think she's either categorized in either balance or power type. And we only got one speed type being Chip. And I'm going to call him Chip because I don't want to say his last name. I'm probably butchering the hell out of it. But yeah, Chip looks a lot bulkier. He's a lot more powerful. And Potikamin, of course, is in the power type. And it makes sense. He's literally grappling and grabbing people and throwing them across things. And it's really noticeable. So yeah, that's all I really got to say. The gameplay has changed dramatically. Now, do I like it? I personally do. I honestly want the gameplay to be a bit more hectic. I love why XR Revelator was popular. It was crazy. It was dramatic. It was everything I loved about the Guilty Gear series. So, of course, it's this one they're taking a very drastic change. But I actually have to sit there and finally get to play it. Like, I feel like it's one of those games where, yeah, you can look at it, but when you get to sit down and play the game on Arc System Works games are like that, because when you get to eventually play it, it's a spectacle. So when I finally get to play it, if there is a demo, because they said there's only 6 playable characters in the demo. Of course, Axel Lowe, I'm very excited to see how he plays. And Kai is already in there, so it's definitely a must buy for me. But what do you guys think about the new gameplay changes and everything going on with the Guilty Gear series with 2020? Also, the full version of the song is out now, but yeah. Like, comment, subscribe, keep it going, and try to keep up the Guilty Gear hype train. Peace out, guys.